Just when everyone thought Sarah Ferguson was cast out of the royal family forever, she is planning her biggest move yet. Stripped of her royal privileges, evicted from her home, and buried under massive scandals, Sarah was supposed to disappear. But behind closed doors, a multi-million-dollar fortune just changed everything. Now, she is secretly moving back to Windsor to pull off a plan that could completely change her relationship with King Charles, Princess Beatrice, and Princess Eugenie. What is this hidden plan, and how does she intend to win over the royal family after everything that's happened? Make sure to stick around until the very end of the video, because we'll uncover the surprising strategy she's relying on and why this comeback could change everything for the York family. If you enjoy staying up to date with the real stories behind the royal family, take a quick moment to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out tremendously and you won't miss any of our upcoming updates. Now, let's look at how this story began. If there is one absolute rule in modern royal history, it is this: you can never, ever write off Sarah Ferguson. Time and time again, when critics claimed her story was over and her public life was ruined, she found a way to pull off an impossible comeback. Most people in her position would have walked away from the public eye forever. But Sarah Ferguson has a rare, almost unbelievable talent for surviving the absolute worst moments in the spotlight. Every single time a major scandal threatened to destroy her reputation, she managed to turn things around. She did it after her highly publicized divorce from Andrew in the 90s. She did it after the shocking Cash for Access scandal that made global headlines. And now, even after the massive fallout surrounding her former husband and those leaked emails, reports suggest she is quietly getting ready to do it again. According to royal insiders, Sarah Ferguson is actively planning her next big move. The timing of all this is what has royal observers so fascinated. Why right now? Some sources indicate the timing is deeply connected to her family. With Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie building their own lives, stepping up at official events, and expanding their families, the public focus naturally shifts back to the York family. Sarah Ferguson knows that every positive milestone for Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie creates a rare window of opportunity. It softens public perception and reopens doors that were once firmly shut. At the exact same time, rumors suggest a major shift in her private financial situation has given her options she didn't have just a few months ago. For months, she kept an extremely low profile abroad, staying far away from the UK media storm. But behind the scenes, the pieces are falling into place for a massive public return. It is claimed that Sarah Ferguson isn't just looking for a fresh start for herself. Her real focus is protecting the standing of Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, while making sure she secures King Charles's passive approval, or at least avoids doing anything that pisses off the palace. She knows that to rebuild her image and make a real return to the UK, she needs a solid foundation. She needs the backing, the freedom, and most importantly, the financial power to support a full PR campaign. And as it turns out, an unexpected turn of events in her personal life just handed her the exact financial lifeline she needed. Just when Sarah Ferguson seemed completely out of options, a sudden multi-million-dollar fortune turned her whole world upside down. For months, everyone wondered how she was going to survive. She had lost her home at Royal Lodge, her reputation was deeply damaged, and her finances were in total ruin. She had been staying far away from the UK, taking shelter in a luxury £15 million Swiss chalet in Verbier. Then came the news that changed everything. Patty McNal, the wealthy Formula One tycoon and Sarah Ferguson's first serious boyfriend, passed away at age 88. He left behind a massive fortune estimated at £600 million. And almost immediately, royal insiders began dropping hints about his will. According to sources, Patty McNal always promised he would look after Sarah Ferguson no matter what happened in her life. They stayed close friends for over 40 years, long after she married Andrew. Whenever she was in financial trouble, he was the one who stepped in to save her. Reports suggest that before he died, Patty McNal made special arrangements to make sure she was taken care of forever. But there is a catch, and it's a big one. Insiders say Patty McNal knew Sarah Ferguson better than almost anyone. He knew that whenever she gets her hands on a large sum of money, she spends it almost instantly. Because of her history as a notorious big spender, it is claimed he didn't give her a massive lump sum. Instead, rumors indicate he set up a structured annual allowance, a regular guaranteed payout that gives her complete financial security without letting her blow through the fortune. This alleged allowance is an absolute game changer for Sarah Ferguson. For years, money troubles pushed her into terrible decisions and risky deals that nearly destroyed her relationship with the royal family. But now, for the first time in decades, she has guaranteed financial independence. She doesn't need to chase desperate commercial deals anymore. She has the funding to hire top PR experts and launch a calculated comeback strategy. With her financial future secured, Sarah Ferguson is already making her next move. And her target isn't Switzerland or Europe, it's right in King Charles's backyard. Sarah Ferguson is quietly putting a high-stakes comeback plan into motion right under the public's nose. After spending months hiding away in Europe, she knows that simply returning to the UK isn't enough. She needs a carefully planned public relations strategy to fix her image and win back the trust of the royal family. Reports suggest her first major step is finding a permanent place to live. And she isn't looking just anywhere. Insiders say Sarah Ferguson has been secretly house hunting in the Windsor area, just a short distance from where King Charles and Prince William manage royal business. Staying close to home allows her to remain a steady presence for Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, while quietly proving to the palace that she is ready to play by the rules. To make this return work, she has to address the dark shadow still hanging over her reputation. The public fallout from her past business, ties and leaked emails with Jeffrey Epstein caused massive damage to the York family name. But according to sources, Sarah Ferguson's new PR team is taking a completely different approach this time. Instead of hiding from the controversy, she is preparing to tell her side of the story. Rumors indicate that media production companies have already approached her with massive, multi-million-dollar offers for a tell-all documentary. The plan would position her not as a willing participant in past scandals, but as someone who was taken advantage of during her darkest financial moments. It's a bold gamble. But to succeed, she must follow one strict condition. She cannot upset King Charles. She knows that any move that causes trouble for King Charles, Prince William, or Camilla could ruin her chances forever. So instead of launching an aggressive media blitz, she is choosing her moments with extreme care, making sure her actions support Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie above all else. If this plan works, it could completely wipe away years of public damage and restore her place in the public eye. But this isn't the first time Sarah Ferguson has attempted a high-stakes public recovery. To truly understand if this new strategy will succeed, we have to look back at the original playbook she used decades ago, and how her current strategy compares to her past moves. Sarah Ferguson is using a playbook that saved her life 30 years ago, but this time the stakes are completely different. To figure out if her new comeback will actually work, we have to look back at how she pulled off the impossible back in the 90s. After her intense divorce from Andrew Mountbatten Windsor in 1996, Sarah Ferguson was left with huge debts and no official royal status. Everyone thought she was finished, but instead of backing down, she packed her bags and took her story across the ocean to America. She did massive sit-down interviews with Oprah Winfrey, secured multi-million-dollar deals with Weight Watchers, and wrote best-selling books. She completely took control of her own story. Back then, the American public fell in love with her honesty, and she built a whole new career as a global media personality. That was the original playbook, but trying to run that exact same plan today is a massive gamble. 30 years ago, Sarah Ferguson was escaping a royal breakdown while the public still sympathized with her. Today, she is dealing with much heavier issues, from those leaked emails to the public fallout surrounding Prince Andrew. Back in the 90s, she could say whatever she wanted on television because she had nothing left to lose. Today, every single move she makes is closely watched by the palace. Reports suggest she cannot risk launching an aggressive American media tour like she did before. If she pushes too hard, she risks completely alienating King Charles and damaging the standing of Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. Instead of a loud dramatic media blitz, insiders say her new strategy has to be quiet, steady, and extremely careful. She isn't trying to become an international superstar this time. She is trying to win back passive tolerance from King Charles and rebuild a safe place for her family in the UK. Her first comeback made her a global celebrity. But this new comeback is all about survival and family legacy. And that brings us to the ultimate question. Can Sarah Ferguson actually pull off her most difficult transformation yet? Or has the world finally moved on? Sarah Ferguson's story is unlike anything else in modern royal history. She has spent decades riding the rollercoaster of public opinion, falling from grace in the most public ways imaginable, only to pick herself up and rebuild every single time. Now, with a newly secured financial lifeline and a calculated plan to re-establish herself near Windsor, she is standing at the edge of her most critical transformation yet. She isn't just fighting for her own public standing, she is fighting to protect the future and place of Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie within the royal narrative. Reports suggest that while King Charles and the palace are keeping a close watch, Sarah Ferguson understands that her next steps must be handled with quiet precision. Whether you view her as a master survivor, a clever strategist, or someone who simply refuses to stay down, one thing is completely clear. Sarah Ferguson is far from finished. Do you think King Charles and the public will ever fully accept Sarah Ferguson back into the fold, or has she finally run out of comebacks? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.